The first piece of audience feedback I received was in the form of a SurveyMonkey in which I created. I did this at the beginning of my project to see what kind of music video people would be interested in. I did this before picking what genre of music I wanted to do and which artists I wanted to use. From this, I was able to gain that between 18 and 24-year-olds were much more into R&B music and anti-pop. From this, I was able to cancel out certain artists as well as decide between a bunch of other ones. I eventually came to the decision of picking blackbear as I am a fan of his and I like a lot of his songs. Once deciding what album and song I wanted to choose, I carried on and went on to create the digipack. When asking for feedback on my digipack, I took screenshots and uploaded these onto Facebook. I was able to get comments back from friends. The main standout piece of feedback I received was in a negative form. This allowed me to then be able to take this on board and improve. The main piece of negative feedback I received was when looking at the track list, it seemed too busy. 11 tracks seemed too many. Therefore, I removed the bottom track. This allowed the layout to look much more clean and tidy, and it also removed any overlay from the image and the text. I then moved on to sort out the information along the bottom of the album back cover. I added more information, including the record label logos and some other names. I also moved the barcode above this, as it gave it a much more professional look. After doing so, I've re-uploaded the newest versions to Facebook to gain feedback. The majority of the feedback was positive. I also included a spine for my album cover, which included the title of the album, the name of the artist, the production logos, and the album number. After doing this, I moved on to gain feedback of my website. Luckily for me, people enjoyed my first version of the website. They said it was easy to navigate around, and the colours I'd chosen had matched my other tasks. However, I did do slight improvements, which included to add a soundtrack of my artist, including some of my favourite songs of his. And I also embedded a link to the music video I had created. When getting feedback for my music video, I showed my class members stages of my progress while editing scenes together. I was asking for constant feedback before doing any drastic changes for my video. All of my video feedback was verbal. The first part of feedback I received was positive in reference to having a constant underlying video in the background, and to have other shots layered on top. This was beneficial to me as it was my original plan of editing to have this concept. I also asked for feedback on my titles. The majority of people suggested to have the titles fade out and to make them large and central on the screen. It was also suggested to have the secondary artist name come up after the main artist, but to have them fade out together. I took all of this feedback on board when editing my final version. The first draft of my video only had a small overlaid scene, but it was suggested by one of my classmates to have a variety of both small and large scenes to allow the audience to gain a sense of story. My first draft of my video only had small overlaid videos, but it was suggested by one of my classmates to have a variety of both small and larger scenes to allow the audience to gain a sense of the story. Taking this on board, I made some scenes slightly larger and only focused on one scene rather than a mixture of split screens. A further alteration I made during audience feedback was to change the underlying scene to a different colour scheme when the artist changed during the hook of the song. I thought this was a good idea due to the change of atmosphere when the second artist started to rap. This is also parallel to the change of beat to the song during this time. It was also suggested by my teacher to marry the scenes to what has been shown. Taking this on board, I went back to my lyric analysis and reshot some scenes to make the message a lot clearer. For example, the scenes with the champagne are shown both in the lyrics and on screen.